Hey guys, welcome to Beautifully Nasty again with your host Courtney.
And I'm Daniel.
And this is our new segment called Beautifully Now.
This is the second episode of Beautifully Now and the 8th episode of Beautifully Nasty. And I'm really glad that you guys are here. This is amazing. I love spending some quality time with each other.
You make it sound like you're a dad. Like you're just like, I want to spend quality time with you, son.
I love them. I want to spend quality time with each and every one of you and to get to know you. Is that creepy?
A little.
A little bit?
If you were, what's his name? Neeson over there.
Liam Neeson?
If you were him, you might be able to pass.
I will find you and I will spend quality time with you.
So, today we're going to talk about some of the things that are trending going on in the world today.
Yeah, hip, hoppity goodness.
Come on, Christmas is pretty trendy. No, I'm just kidding. No, but on a more serious note, I've been hearing a lot of stuff in the news. I've been trying to keep up as much as I can. Work kind of gets in the way, but we're gonna try to come up with some stuff. Mm-hmm. My co-host over here probably has done more work of the trending topics than I have.
A little bit. I mean, I have work too, but literally right now we've been rushing to get some stuff in, so we just found out most of these now. Mm. So, I got something.
But around the holidays, it does get busy.
Yeah.
So we can't really feel so bad about it because everybody's rushing around the holidays.
Yeah, I do have something really cool. You know how Applebee's is ruining, millennials are ruining Applebee's.
Oh, yes.
And then they're like, hey, millennials, we're a bar too. Why don't you come over here and get some $1 margaritas? Well, today, or next month, December, tomorrow, they're offering $1 Long Island iced teas for the whole month.
Didn't they do this for Thanksgiving? The $1 or what? No, it was October maybe, right?
Yeah, it's $1 margarita. But
so
you see it, and it's like a whole gallon of margarita mix, and not much of the alcohol.
Yeah,
it's really cheap. So hopefully this isn't cheap, but probably is.
Yeah, I heard it was really disgusting.
Yeah, to
be honest with you.
I don't.
But $1 margarita. What do you expect?
$1 worse or $1 worth. Well, if you guys like space and the moon,
I do.
You like the moon?
Just kidding.
The moon's amazing.
No, I like 2 moon.
2 moon?
I'm just kidding.
You like 2?
I'm so just kidding.
Let me know when you do that, so I won't be around when you do that. But scientists found out that the moon is actually made out of cheese. Last night they found out that they sent a rover there, and they found out it's edible and it's made out of cheese.
That can't be true.
No, but on December 4th at 3:35 a.m., you get to witness the last supermoon of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
really?
It's a giant moon.
Man, I wish I would have known that.
Yeah.
I would have paid attention to that a little more.
And that's when they have more cheese. It makes it bigger. But it's basically the moon is closer to Earth, so it looks bigger.
I never really got into space stuff until I moved in with you and Michael, and I have to say, it is crazy to think what's going on in the universe, all the stuff that's going on. It's different when you're in space. I was about to say space.
When was the last time you've been in space?
No, I was gonna say space class.
Space class?
I don't know why.
Hey Jimmy, you got an A in space class.
Hey,
wow.
Jimmy Neutron was in space class.
Oh, Jimmy Neutron. Why did he even go to school? He didn't have to.
I know, he was a genius. How did that even... I don't even know, man. Why was his head so big, and why did he still go to school? And why did he stay in, a lower grade? He should have, shot up to, a bigger grade.
He looked like chocolate ice cream.
Yeah. Either that, or I always thought he looked like pudding. Chocolate pudding.
That's Jimmy Neutron for you.
Yep.
When you look back, the animation looks really weird.
I know, which is crazy, because, that used to be a really good show when I was younger. I used to always love the little dog.
Oh,
at the
Gadget?
beginning.
What's his name? Gadget? No, it's something.
I can't remember.
Starts with a G. But, here's something that's really cool. I know you use the WhatsApp app, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I have to because of work.
Did it shut down for you at all today? No?
Nope.
Well, millions and millions of users are experiencing a worldwide, it was down. It was down all day. A worldwide issue, like technical issue, it was down worldwide for almost every single user. And WhatsApp came out with a statement. They said WhatsApp users around the world are unable to access the service. We apologize for the inconvenience, and we are working to fix the issue as soon as possible. They have yet to say what the issue was, or if it's fixed.
Well, WhatsApp is kind of like a little trendy app because a lot of people use it.
It's like free phone, right? Phone service.
Yeah, like if you're okay, say for instance you don't have enough money to like renew your what do you call it? Your phone bill. Honestly, like especially if you have an iPhone, I don't know about Android users, but I know that it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
It really makes like as if you have your phone on, even though you don't.
Mm-hmm.
But my work, they use it a lot. It's really been a helpful thing instead of having everybody be connected through Facebook,
Yeah.
Because that's just, to me, that's a little too personal. So WhatsApp makes it like makes it possible for us to like talk to each other and share stuff and all that. That's pretty neat. Find out something new every day about it. So.
Yeah, I mean, I've used WhatsApp before, and it's really cool. It's like a free phone service. I haven't used it in a long time though.
Yeah, like when I've had to download it recently for my job, that was like the first in a long time I heard of WhatsApp.
Has it? You haven't used it before?
No, well, my friends used it, and like I heard of it, but I had never used it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very weird.
I wonder how much it changed, because the last time I used it was like 2 years ago. Must change a lot though, but
they're always coming up with some kind of trendy app for anything really.
That reminds me. There's actually a study for Apple users, like the Apple Watch. They're doing like a heart study, to where the people in the study wear Apple Watches, and it like records their heartbeat.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah, and apparently it's a different way to actually detect heartbeat. It's like they send LED lights through your blood vessels.
That's crazy.
Like 1 million times per second, and then it bounces back and records like how much blood flow is going through your veins. So it's like a more accurate representation instead of like just pulses. They're saying that it could like alert people if they're going to have a stroke or is about to have one.
That's pretty cool.
Or stuff like that. Something that has to do with heart. Like it'll alert you saying, "Hey, you're having a heart attack," but why are you having? If you're having a heart attack.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it can alert you. It can be like, well, some people don't even know if they have a stroke, so it can alert you saying, "Hey, you're having a stroke."
Yeah, it's crazy to think. Like I've been finding out more and more that a lot of people our age have been having heart attacks and like strokes and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that's a scary thought because like me being 25 now, it doesn't feel real. I know that sounds weird as it may be, but it doesn't feel like I'm actually as old as I am.
Yeah.
Like I always still feel young. Like you probably seen the meme where it's like have you ever looked around in the room and a problem happens and you just look around for the adult, but then you realize you're the adult.
It's like a horror movie. It's like you just explain it like a horror movie.
Because it really
like you
is,
look around
because,
for
like,
the adult, but then you realize
you're the
you
adult.
are the adult.
Like, because it really is. Like, I think it was you that told me also with the other meme where it was like, adulthood is like driving a plane, a jet plane.
While you're
building it, right?
Yeah. Adult life is you're building your I now forgot. You're flying a jet while you're building it.
Yeah.
And
that is so true though.
Yeah, it is.
Because have you ever been somewhere or done something and like there's instantly a problem or something bad happens and you're just looking around and you're like, who's gonna fix this? Where is the people that need to fix this?
Yeah,
then you realize you have to do this.
I think 20s is like an awkward stage because you're like, it's like jumping into a game without the tutorial.
Yes.
Basically.
I think I heard of that actually. I think somebody said something like that online.
I skip the tutorial anyway all the time.
I always do.
Yeah. You're like, I know how to do this. And then something that comes up, you're like, how do I do this?
Yes. And you're just like,
And you have to look it up, and then you have to look through the like gamepad settings and stuff.
So what else is new?
It's a little random. I don't know if a lot of people will associate with this, but ever watched like Andy Griffith's show or heard of it?
Oh yes.
Or grew up with it?
That was my show when I was a kid.
I grew up with it. It's
one of my shows, I should say.
Little sad news. You know how Andy Griffith died.
Mm-hmm.
Don Knotts died.
Oh wow.
And then Opie became the director of awesome movies. Well, you remember
Ron Howard. Good old Ron Howard.
You remember what's his name? Goober.
The scrawny little guy, right?
Scrawny guy had a weird voice.
Yeah.
He died today.
Wow.
At the age of 82. Something like that.
He was up in age, so it's not like it was like a complete shocker, but at the same time, it's sad to hear, you know? I mean, a lot of people in that show were really good actors. And I mean, those were the days when it really meant a lot on how you really acted. Like, I mean, now we have like CGI, we have all this stuff, all this extra quality stuff. But like back then, it was all black and white. There was nothing to draw the attention away from the people in the center of the frame. So acting was a very important thing. You had to have detail down. They
had like 5 sets, and they reused like outside footage. So they only had like a few things to work with. Yeah. They were high budget, but it looked low budget to today's standards.
Oh, yeah.
So they had just a little bit to work with the money they can use.
I bet they were probably very popular, though, in that time scene. Though.
Amazingly popular.
Like being black and white films, because those are the best. Honestly, that makes me want to just watch the whole season over again.
Yeah. And I remember they came back for like a movie. They all came back for like a movie, and Opie was like grown up already.
Yeah, Ron Howard has some really good films.
Yeah, my favorite film of his was Beautiful Mind. Ever heard of it?
No. Well, yes, I have.
Man, I forgot the guy who actually played as the main character.
That's what I was about to say.
It's a big star.
I just don't really know his name very well because I don't follow him in Hollywood. But I know what you're talking about. But Ron Howard has a lot of good movies. I mean, there's a lot of good ones that I can't really think of right at the moment. But he's really turned out to do a lot better than I thought. Mm-hmm.
And I think he produced Arrested Development.
That's what I was gonna say. He was in there.
Yeah, he was a narrator throughout the whole thing. There.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was a narrator.
He was.
And then he played himself. Yeah, he played himself, and it was funny because he made fun of himself as like, oh, everyone says I'm Opie.
I've seen him in other movies too, though. He's made like guest appearances or things like that. Like,
he's
been in
some
stuff.
Amazing director.
So he really did well with his life.
He started when he was little.
Yeah.
He started directing when he was little.
Yeah, he's done a lot since he was a kid. But speaking of a lot that's been going on, random thing, I just read where there was an earthquake. Around Delaware area. And it was a 4.1.
That's a big old earthquake.
There's been a lot of earthquakes happening. I heard not too long ago, just before all this, there was one in what was it, Iraq, I think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That was like a couple weeks ago. It was huge.
So I'm just like, I don't understand what's going on. Like, all these earthquakes just keep coming around.
Yeah.
But, like, I know there's, like, certain areas where it's, like, very more prone to earthquakes, you know? Like, it happens a little bit more than normal.
Yeah.
But there's just been a lot of climate change recently, like forest fires, and then we had like, you know, all those tropical storms in that good period of time.
Yeah.
I just don't know what's going on.
Like I would love to live in California, like move there and live there, but all the earthquakes and stuff, like it makes me think like do they have special insurance for that?
Well, I know
people
that
who live there?
When we were looking at places, they said something about it's earthquake safety or safe, earthquake safe. I don't know. But remember we were reading about it. Like they were talking about how important it was. So there was that. But I just don't get it. I don't know what's going on with the world, but I mean, we're going to try to stay intact, hopefully.
Well, I got some really good news.
What?
I just got this, by the way. I just found this out.
Oh gosh, what?
No, this is really good. You know Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town?
No.
Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town.
Wait, the tall guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The villain.
Yeah.
The main villain.
The one that they make memes of all the time?
Yeah. Well, he was battling like stage 4 cancer. Like bad cancer.
Oh, wow.
And then he was in remission. And then it came back. And he had GoFundMe page and all that stuff. It was really bad. And you can tell, like, he was looking pretty bad. Well, now, just found this out. He tweeted this. Just came from the doctor today with very good news. All tests were clean, so nothing new happening, and the cancer is not doing anything new. Which, I mean, it's not growing, but it's still there. Yeah. What a relief. So no more anxiety or distress this year, just pure happiness. Thank you all for the support. And how many people upvoted this? 4.4 thousand people upvoted this.
That's awesome.
And the subreddit was dank memes. But still, I mean, that's
crazy.
That's awesome. I love that dude. He's awesome.
I mean, I don't really know much about him, so I'm not going to say anything too much about him. But, like, it is sad to hear, you know, of people that go through all that. And I never, like, even though I don't know them, I never wish anything bad upon them. You know what I mean? I don't go, oh my God, they're so horrible, or I don't really care for that person in that movie. But that doesn't mean I don't wish them the best, you know? I mean, because that's that person striving to be the best that they can be and do what they would like to do, you know? That's a job in itself.
There's a YouTuber that is battling cancer now.
Who?
Well, there's a little story that goes with this, and I feel really bad for doing this. So I tweeted Total Biscuit. He's a YouTuber. He does like gaming videos and stuff. I tweeted to him, and it was just spur of the moment. I felt like making a joke, so I made a joke. And I tweeted to Total Bit. This is before I even knew about his medical problems. And I said, Total Biscuit, ever felt like a half biscuit before? And he's like, well, you know, lately I haven't been really myself. I was like, oh, so it's about 20% biscuit. He's like, yeah. And then he was on the H3 podcast like the week after, and he said stuff like having cancer. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad, and I still feel bad.
Well, I mean,
I didn't know.
But while we're on that topic, that's not, I mean, I had a situation with the same thing, sort of, right?
Yeah, with, yeah.
I don't know if we've went into this and if we've talked about this.
I don't know if you want to. That's why I didn't say anything.
It's really embarrassing, and it's kind of actually.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Got
a little choked up. That's how bad it is. No, it's not bad at all.
So me and Daniel, we're really big fans of Rhett and Link.
Yeah.
Good Mythical Morning. I mean, we're up there. Like,
if
Rhett and Link sent us a retweet or a like or anything, and was just recognize us at all, we'd be on the floor. Like,
it's one of those things where you're like, I gotta call my mom.
Yeah. Like, I would instantly call everybody I knew and was like, hey, Brett and Link spoke to me.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't even care. But we strive to be, you know, up there with them. Not just like them, but we want to be somewhere in the state that they're in. Like, where they have fun, they grow on the camera, you know, on YouTube, and people follow along with it. Now, that being said...
Oh, man.
I was going through our feed on Beautifully Nasty page, and I was just, you know, randomly tweeting at people, and this was when all the Kevin Spacey stuff went down, you know, like all that accusations, and then him, you know, trying to come up with these apologies and all this other mess. And before I go into this, I am not standing by Kevin Spacey on any of this, so don't think that I'm defending him or anything in any way, but... She made a post about something about, like...
Well, who was it before we get into it?
Okay. It was one of the Good Mythical Morning crew members. And
are you going to drop a name or just leave it as that?
We're just going to leave it as that.
Okay.
Well, it's a she.
Yeah.
She made a GIF, or she had a GIF, and she posted a tweet, and it said something like, when you find out the character in the show was actually gay all along, when you already knew they were gay... And just all this mess about being gay. I don't know. Anyways, so I didn't even think of who it was. I didn't look at how many tweets were on it, any likes or nothing. I just commented because I saw it and I was like, oh my God, that reminds me of Kevin Spacey. Because he was trending at the moment in time. So I was just like, Kevin Spacey.
That's all.
That's literally all I tweeted.
Listen, folks. All she said was Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, just like that was the only thing I said.
No context, just 2 words.
And the thing is, she turned right around, and I was at work, so I was just working, and Daniel actually pointed it out.
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh no." He was like, "You're not gonna believe this. The person that you tweeted to saying Kevin Spacey is the Good Mythical Morning crew member, and she has replied back." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
First, you were excited.
Yeah, because I was like, "Okay, she's probably gonna say something funny back, you know, whatever."
And then I was like, "Oh wait, I gotta read you this thing here."
Yeah, and it was like, what did it say, Daniel?
I can go back and look, but it said something like, I don't want to put words into her mouth.
Yeah, it was along the lines of her saying, "How dare you?" Yeah, I'm paraphrasing here. She was like, "How dare you, you know, say things to back him up and, you know, for what he did, and try to say that it was perfectly fine to bring sexual orientation to cover up for, you know, a major assault and crime he did, whatever." And it like really hit me because I was like, here I am just making a joke. I never even said what I was making a joke about. All I said was a name. I didn't say it's Kevin Spacey or the Kevin Spacey. All I said was Kevin Spacey. And she just read all that in those 2 words.
She was kind of livid.
She was mad.
She was mad.
Yeah. But the thing is, I did feel bad because it's not some people can't take jokes as well as some.
Also,
and she could have been in the bad mood, which I think she had already been having a day.
Well, the thing is, like, the crew members for Good Mythical Morning, they work really hard. I don't know if she had a bad day or what, but also, like, the Kevin Spacey thing was, like, right in the peak at that time.
Yeah, it was fresh.
And it really hit home with some people. So I could kind of understand her point of view. But at the other hand, I'm like, calm down a little bit.
Which I replied them back, and I was like, you know, I'm sorry. It was poor judgment for me to say that. And, you know, it was poor judgment of a joke. But I also told her, but also, I don't stand for somebody, you know, covering up with their sexual orientation for the poor actions that they did.
Yeah.
And I don't. But at the same time, you have to laugh at life. You just do.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'm working on this a little bit with myself, but whenever something tragic happens, sometimes I'll make a joke out of it.
Because that's how some people cope.
To cope with it. I know a lot of people that does this. I thought I had a problem, but a lot of people that I know do the same thing. And, you know, you got to watch what you say about stuff like that. But on the other hand, you just said 2 words.
Yeah.
So you didn't say, you know.
I mean, I don't take back how I said it, but was it poor judgment in a way? Yes. I probably could have waited, and I didn't realize that I was the only third tweet. But people defended me. They stood by me.
Yeah,
you know, there was people said that was funny, and then there was another person that, you know, was like, come on, it's not that big of a deal. So,
we're going to name her Lisa for some reason. I just felt like naming her Lisa. And one person, I don't know, replied, "Come on, Lisa." Yeah. Like, chill out. Her name's,
like
I don't know.
That's what made me think she was having like kind of a bad day, because she replied and was like, "Yeah, I've just had a bad, you know, day or whatever." So I totally understand that.
But I mean, we're not mad at her. We respect her.
On another note, on that same subject in a way, we have just recently read where Matt Lauer was fired. He was fired. Can you imagine? Okay, when I first heard about it was the other day with my mom, and she said, "Hey, did you hear about Matt Lauer?" And I was like, "What? Matt Lauer? Like, the dude's been on, you know, Good Morning or Today Show, right? Today Show. I don't know why I was saying Good Morning.
Good Mythical Morning.
The Today Show has been around for a while, and he was on there always.
As long as I've been alive, really.
I mean, Katie and him, they were always on that. That was something I seen every day. With Al Roker.
Wake up with Al. He's a meme too.
Yeah, he is.
A little bit of a meme.
But no, like, I didn't know what was going on. So by the end of the night, my mom said that he had some kind of sexual assault or like some kind of, you know, bad conduct towards a lady employee. And that's just sad because, like, there's a lot coming out of Hollywood right now.
There's a lot coming out about that. There's one guy, I don't know who said it, but I just read it, I skimmed away on Reddit. This guy said it's a part of the culture in Hollywood. It's a staple.
There's a guy right now, and you probably recognize him. His name is Corey Feldman. And he was in The Lost Boys. He was in The Lost Boys. He was in The Goonies. He was a kid actor mainly.
Yeah.
Well, he became a heartthrob as time went on, and he is recently, and he's speaking out about this a lot, like longer than this, but recently it's gotten more attention than ever. But he's been releasing a lot of names of people. Well, not really releasing. He's been telling us he's wanting to release a lot of names about people that are committing sexually assault in Hollywood. And it just so happens that around this time that he's starting to get a little more attention about the subject, that people are actually getting caught for it. People are actually getting, recognized.
If you look up sexual allegations and stuff, there's a whole list right now. I mean, I think it all I don't know if it all started, but it really it started like the trending now with like Bill Cosby.
Yeah. I
don't know if it started the whole thing.
I mean, there was a lot going on with him too.
Yeah.
So that was another one that caught me off guard. But it's sad to see. And Corey Feldman says that he's raising money to try to come up with a movie, because it takes a lot of money to get through that and security, because he has one name that he wants to drop, but he says that it's a very, very important person that's in demand. Like it's an important person that his life is at stake. Like,
oh my God!
It could put his life at stake.
It's like the mafia or something.
No, but he knows that it's gonna come at him if he releases it, and he's gonna release it through movie form. Could you imagine? That's the worst in a way.
Like you're watching a movie one time, and the guy's like, "This dude touched me," like in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. So I'm like, that's just a horrible way to tell it.
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever we gotta do to see what's going on.
What he should do, is to do it live.
Yeah.
On air, like on TV.
Yeah, because if anything happens, at least he's there still. You know what I mean?
Because with the movies, like, if this guy really is important, he can shut down the movie.
Well, I mean, it's like with Kevin Spacey. They've completely removed him from this movie recently that he was supposed to be in. And then they took House of Cards off of Netflix.
Which is a good show. I hate that he did all that stuff.
Yeah. Which, I mean, it sucks because he was such a good actor.
Yeah, you see him as such a good actor. Now you see him and you have disgust for him. Yeah. Like, I thought when I was, like, growing up and I first heard of Kevin Spacey, I was like, this guy's amazing. This guy's, like, a really good actor.
He's always been.
And he's good on screen and he's funny. But then you realize all this stuff that he'd done and you're like, oh, God, it ruined everything.
Yeah. It's pretty sad.
But what about this? Here's a question. This is something that Jerry Seinfeld put out. He was on Stephen Colbert show, and Jerry Seinfeld was like, "I can separate the art from the man."
Yes. Now that is something I really do push myself to do, but it's so hard to communicate to other people on why you still like their movies and why you still like their shows, because people are like, well, how can you like that person's show or movie when you just found out that he sexually assaulted some kid or he did this and that? But I'm sitting here like, Pee-wee Herman, he did a lot of stuff happened to him.
Yeah. Sorry,
pardon my language, but a lot of stuff happened to him, and honestly, I don't just look back at his movies and go, oh, they're instantly bad. Like, yeah. You can't change art, and that's what makes art beautiful. Yeah. Is because even through the worst and the bad times, it can still be looked at as beautiful. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so a movie from Kevin Spacey, I'm not going to look at a movie from Kevin Spacey and be like, oh, it was bad. It's instantly bad. I'm still going to like his movies. Yeah. But do I like the way that he lives his life, his personal life? No, I do not.
I think I'm in the middle with that. I think I don't have a definitive answer. I'm like, I don't know. I can watch House of Cards now. And I can watch it and I can enjoy it. Mm-hmm. But if he comes out anything now, later in the future, I don't think I would like it. I don't think I can look at it the same because of that. But stuff that he did before we all knew
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about? Yeah. So if Kevin Spacey comes out with whatever, something else, do you think he'll like it?
I don't think he should get enough attention.
Right.
After what he's put another individual through. Right. I don't think he deserves that attention because I understand that's how he makes his money, but you reap what you sow, man.
Mm-hmm.
You did this, and now you have to sow through it.
I don't like his response.
I don't either.
It's weird.
It didn't make no sense to me, because why talk about what you're into and what you've dealt with most of your life with sexual orientation and whatnot, and then turn around and blame it with also, because it was like he was trying to throw a bunch of excuses together in case someone said, well, okay, you didn't say this. Oh, wait, yes, you did. You know what I mean? Like, it just sounded like he tried to throw a bunch together.
He's like, oh, I'm sorry I touched this boy. I was drunk. Oh, by the way, I'm gay.
See, that just make no sense to me. Like, you can't define your actions by your sexual orientation. You just can't. It's not possible.
Also, if you're drunk and you do something, you still do something.
Exactly.
You're still. It's not like you died and someone else hosted
Besides,
your body.
When you're drunk, that's when you do the more truthful things.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
So
it's
if
like
that's necessarily true, then what you did to that young boy was not right. You shouldn't have done
what they
it.
call it? A drunk mouth. A drunk mouth speaks a sober mind.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. The world is just getting crazy now.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But I can't even remember what else I found out what else has happened in the world today.
I know
There's just been a lot going on, honestly.
It's been a really slow week, really. I mean, I know.
I heard about, this is a little bit last week, but I heard about Carrie Underwood. She really hurt herself recently. She fell and like broke her foot, I think it was, or injured her foot or her leg or something. Which I'm like, oh my God, because like Carrie Underwood is pretty good. I enjoy her actually. Speaking of Carrie Underwood, this makes me think of it. CMT has got a lot going on right now with the holidays. They get more and more into the holidays.
Yeah, they're big holidays.
Yeah, like talk about Christmas in the South. It is ridiculously big.
Yeah. And you have to be careful about what you say.
Oh my God, yeah. But like, I'm not too much into country, okay? It's not one of my favorites, but I do like some. I like some. And one of my favorites, this is so funny because she's older, but one of my favorites is Reba McEntire. And she hosts like everything nowadays. Mm-hmm. I see her always hosting stuff, but it's like that woman never ages.
Rhett is in love with Reba.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Rhett is in love with Reba.
Something about her, she's just like a cheerful soul. It's like when I see her, I'm just like, oh, she's such a funny person. Because like her little show that she had, like I really enjoyed it. It was fun. I even got like
what's it called?
Season.
I forgot.
Reba.
What's it called? I forgot. Huh? What?
A lot of people from that show got really big though.
Yeah.
Like Van, he got really big.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he became on Shameless. Speaking of Shameless, I've got to catch up. Because Shameless has gotten pretty big again, because the new season and everything, and I've been seeing a lot of memes about Jimmy Steve. I don't know if did you ever watch it?
No.
Oh man, Jimmy Steve was the controversial character in the show.
Why does he have two first names?
Because his real name is I think it was Jimmy, but he would tell Fiona in the show that he was Steve, and he was living a secret life basically. But
gotcha.
I liked his character all the way up until like halfway through the season, and I started seeing where it was turning, and I was like, what? Like such a good character, and then he just dropped off. I thought that they were meant to be, honestly, but turns out they weren't.
So you heard of self-driving cars, right?
Yes.
Well, the ones that you can buy are super expensive. You have to be like a CEO to buy one.
Wow.
But the ones that you can buy aren't really self-driving. You have to override it when it makes a turn. It doesn't start for stop signs.
Oh wow.
So it's basically cruise control that stops when it detects a car in front of you. I mean, it's not really self-driving, but GM, General Motors, is actually releasing a consumer-based, completely autonomous self-driving car in 2019.
Holy cow.
Yep.
That's just crazy to think about, honestly.
I'm really excited for this because that means less cars on the road.
Yeah.
Also, just imagine you you have some kind of home device like, hey, Alexa, open the garage. And then you go into your car and you're like, hey, car, turn on. And it turns on. And you're like, hey, car, drive me to the nearest Walmart. And you go to Walmart. It drops you off, goes back home to recharge.
Oh, wow.
Itself. And then you go on your phone and be like, hey, car, pick me up in about 20 minutes. And it waits for you outside Walmart and then takes you home. It's your own personal taxi service. Speaking
of Walmart, did you hear about them talking about like doing that come in your home service?
What in the world is that?
Yeah, like they literally bring your groceries while you're at work and bring it in your home.
So they come out with the pick up your groceries thing, and then they come out with what?
Yeah, they literally take your groceries in your home and put it in your fridge for you. And
in your fridge?
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
I don't trust that. I'm sorry.
How weird is that, though?
I don't trust that. I'm
exactly.
sorry.
Like
if I become like, which I probably won't, but if I become like super rich, and I know people that have maids and stuff. Yeah. I can't get a maid. I'm sorry. I don't trust people.
I'm not getting no maid.
I don't trust people with my stuff.
Exactly. And
I don't.
Not even just that, but like I am not too good to clean my own house. I
mean, if you notice, I always close my door. It's not that I don't trust you to. It's just that I don't know.
Well, I mean, that's
it's my
personal
stuff.
Privacy. Like that's just the way things are. But I know how you are with your stuff because I mean, even when my brother was living here, you were like, "Is he gonna steal?" Like or whatever. No, I was like, "No, he's fine."
I was like, "Is he gonna?" I don't. I
you
wasn't
didn't
like
know
that
him at the time, so I
didn't know him that much. But I just it's my stuff, especially my guitar. If it's like, don't touch my guitar.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. But no, like
don't touch my fridge. I feel like they're going to open up my fridge and take a bite out of something. It's so
odd because I don't know. Like
it's
that's
like a weird
human
person
being going in there.
Like I'll do this if I have a chance to chat with the person online.
Like if I know the person for a while, I probably could.
If I knew the person that's coming into my house, I have to give them an interview or something.
Yeah, or something because something's not.
I have to know this person. I'll be like, so how many walkers have you killed? Now how many people have you killed? Now how many people have you killed?
Okay, Coral.
But I don't trust people in my house.
Speaking of,
I really don't trust people in my fridge.
Did you know Michonne is going to be in the new Black Panther movie?
Really?
Yeah, Michonne from Walking Dead.
Really?
You know, the one with the sword.
Huh.
Yeah, no, she's going to be in the Black Panther. I just saw that last night.
Wow.
Also, did you see the new Avengers movie?
The trailer? Yes.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Yes, it got Guardians of the Galaxy people in it.
I'm really excited.
Ooh. It looks like the best one.
The DC, the Justice League the other night that I seen, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It was good for DC, but I feel like, you know what I've noticed is I feel like DC is a little more darker.
Yeah, they're darker and really serious.
Yeah, they are.
And then they came out with Green Lantern, and it was like super funny, and they didn't really pull it off that well. Mm-hmm. And they're like, DC was like, oh, okay, I guess we can't do that. So apparently this one's good?
Yes, this one was really good. I do think that they tried to bring out the wittiness from the Avengers. You know how like Peter Parker was like the witty part? I noticed a lot that the Flash in the movie he was the witty one.
Yeah.
He was the funny one. He was the one they tried to like make more comedic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like the bond between the Flash and Batman was just like Iron Man and Peter Parker, which I thought was so funny because it was like literally replicated, but like put in its own way. Yeah. Which I don't hate on it, honestly. Like I'm sitting here like, oh, that's similar. But at the same time, it wasn't a bad thing. Like I didn't go, oh my God, it's so similar. It's bad. I don't care for it. It was actually
DC.
Good.
I love DC so much. I love Superman. I love Batman. I love Batman. He's like my favorite superhero. Besides Spider-Man, but their movies are so. Most of them are kind of bad. So
what, DC?
Yeah, DC. Most of them are kind of bad, except for some of the Batman movies. So I'm really excited to hear that this one's good.
See, my love for DC is a little bit different because it's like, I want to console with it. You know what I mean?
But they have good games.
For it because
they have really good games.
They actually do. I do want to feel for it because I'm like, I feel like they get pushed down so much, but they're actually really good. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to compete with the Avengers now. You know what I mean? Because the Avengers has a lot more ammo to work with.
Yeah.
Them, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, because not trying to be rude, but in the Justice League, it was just the Flash, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and then, God, who was the robot one? I forgot his name.
Does he look like? Like what color?
He's a black guy, and he had,
Cyborg?
maybe it was. But it was just them. And I felt bad because it was like, you really didn't get to see what makes DC, you know, most of the time. Superman was in it. But here's the thing. Superman was kind of like, he was dead throughout the whole movie. Mm-hmm. He didn't come back to life until closer to the end of the movie.
Is this a spoiler?
Yeah. Well, not really. I mean, because have you seen Batman versus Superman?
Yeah, I didn't really like it that much.
Okay, so then it's not a spoiler because you know that he was already dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, everybody knows that they're going to bring back a superhero whenever they're, you know, gone.
Yeah,
somehow
I mean, in the comics, the Superman, if I remember correctly, Superman got killed by Doomsday, this big giant rock monster. Yep. And then he came back to life as a robot or something like that. Something weird.
Not necessarily. It was power from these 3 cubes that are made of power. And somehow, some way, they used the power to bring him back to life.
Are you talking about the comics or the movie?
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Oh.
Movie.
I was wondering.
But before you watch Justice League, definitely, quick couple of tips. Watch Batman vs. Superman. I have not seen it, and I wish I would have because it really put me behind on that. I'm not into the comics, so I have to see that.
Watch it for the story. Don't watch it to watch it as a good movie.
No, I mean, I just need to know what.
Actually, read the plot on Wikipedia.
Because when Justice League came on, it showed a bunch of posters of where they were all sad because, you know, Superman died. And I didn't even know he had died. Because honestly, I haven't been keeping up with much of DC lately. So I didn't know what was going on. So I suggest watching Batman versus Superman. Also, Wonder Woman. You need to watch her movie.
I need to watch that.
Because her storyline really had a lot to take place in that movie. I realized. Because there was a lot of stuff that I was like, I don't get it. Like, Batman made a couple of jokes towards her, and I was just like, I don't get it. You know what I mean? And then, on top of that, what was the other thing? There was one more movie that you needed to see. See, I don't remember. But all I know is those are 2 main movies you need to see before you watch that. Now, I really enjoyed watching the new Aquaman being in that and the new Flash. They were really good characters.
Did his standalone movie come out yet?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I haven't been watching DC movies.
I've been behind them because a lot of Avengers and
I love DC,
Marvel
though.
stuff has been coming out. The new Spider-Man, when it came out, I was there to see that.
That's the best Spider-Man movie.
That really was. And I know it sounds crazy because it's the most recent one, but honestly, I think it's right there in between. You know how Tobey Maguire was a little too serious, but then you had Andrew Garfield, which was more the funny, more teen look. Yeah, I feel like Peter Parker, the new one now. What's his name? Tom Holland, I think, or no?
Holland.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Holland. What the heck? I feel like he's a mixture of them both.
Yes, I think what they did was they saw I'm calling him Peter Parker. They saw Tobey Maguire.
I did too.
And then they saw Andrew Garfield and be like, okay, so what did we do right? What did we do wrong with both of these characters? And they made the perfect Peter Parker. They made the perfect Spider-Man. It's just perfect. But Aunt May, she gets younger every iteration.
I know. It's so crazy.
It's now she looks like she's 20-something.
Right?
Yeah. And the Tobey Maguire is just like an old 80-year-old lady. Yeah.
I know. Which... Honestly, they had been thinking of putting Tom Holland. God,
just call him Tommy Boy.
Yeah, Tom.
Tommy Boy.
They've been thinking about casting him for a long time. The movie just never got pronounced and all that until recent. So when it did that, I was like, because they were still stuck between 2 actors the last time I heard before the movie came out. They were stuck between 2 young kid actors. But I'm so glad they did stick with Tom because he actually did really good.
Wait, you know he does ballet?
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff,
He does martial arts and stuff. That's why I think that's if it's not CGI, it's probably him doing stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he's done most of his stunts, majority at least. But no, I'm excited to see the new Avengers. I'm pretty thrilled. I mean, Black Panther's in it. I'm really excited. I gotta watch that too because I'm so excited for the Black Panther.
Yeah, Black
that is a whole nother like character that I haven't been used to. Like I've heard of him, but like you never heard about him till like recently, and I was just like, this is.
He was in Civil War, right?
Yes, he was in Civil War.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's African, right?
I
know he's not from America.
No, he's from some kind of part of I think Africa or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like islands or something.
Yeah.
He's from another area, but he does so good, and the guy that plays him, really good. God, he plays really in a lot of good movies. They picked a really good character for that, and his new movie has got a lot of great actors in it. I'm thrilled to see that they turned that into a good masterpiece. I'm really glad to see how they're doing a lot of the Marvel movies. Because in general, their characters and their backstories are doing so great. I mean, look at Thor. I mean, him and then Loki, like, they put him spot on. Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking about just Thor and Loki. They're spot on to what they need to be.
I gotta see the new Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. I'm not really too thrilled about that character. He's not my favorite. I know people are going to say stuff about it, but he's just not really my favorite.
Who's your favorite Avenger?
Ooh, that's hard. Because my favorite Avenger has always been Spider-Man. But I'm starting to change and go more towards like Captain America. I don't know, something about it.
My favorite, the thing about Captain America, I feel like he's too much, we got to do the right thing.
Oh, yeah.
We have to do this no matter what.
I just like his comments.
And yeah. And I feel like that he can put the Avengers in trouble because his mind can't change.
He always wants to do the above and beyond.
Yeah, he has to do too much. I like Spider-Man because he's funny and stuff.
Speaking of, I gotta say this before I get this lost. I almost forgot. One of my other favorites I'm starting to realize.
Who?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man?
He's really funny.
He's funny.
And he works in like a conniving way with his power.
I feel like he was like, didn't really choose this, but he has to do it. He's like, oh, whatever, I guess I'll do this. He's like, but what's funny is that he's Ant-Man's son, right? Like, he's not the true Ant-Man.
No, I didn't think he was related to him at all.
Yeah, like in the movie Ant-Man, his father was, or grandfather was the actual Ant-Man and just passed along the
was it
the costume to him. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was a woman because there's a woman in the movie, and he goes to her house, and she chose him to be the Ant-Man.
I don't know.
Well, she didn't choose him. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the mic there. She didn't choose him. No, the grandpa that was living with her did. She was like that. He's like, that's the person right there. I don't know. They became like close, like because she got with him and like she wanted to be with him.
I gotta watch the movie again.
The movie's really good.
But
I actually really liked it.
I think my favorite Avenger would be Iron Man.
Yeah,
Tony Stark, because I feel like he just has the right answers for everything, and he's he understands the risks involved with stuff. He understands, like, we know we have to do the right thing, but we will probably kill millions in the process.
I think. Okay, so I didn't really like him at first, even through his movies. But now I'm seeing what you're saying with he's more of the truth.
I feel like he has his head on the shoulders more than anyone else.
Yeah, like I think I know what you're talking about, because like now that I've watched like a lot of the Avengers movies and stuff,
yeah,
I recognize that he's got his head on his shoulders. What I mean when I say that is he thinks of the stuff that everybody else isn't thinking of. I mean, he showed up when Peter Parker like several times when he least expected it. Yeah. So it's like he already knows. He uses his mind in another way, but he means well. But he's a realistic person. You know, he goes after what he knows is best. Mm-hmm. But I do see that. And I'm starting to warm up to him a little bit now. Yeah. Because at first I did not care for him. Something about his attitude just didn't spark with me at first. But I find him funny.
I just like in the first Iron Man movie, he built an Iron Man costume out of nothing in a cave.
I need to watch those again because I don't remember.
They're good. Iron Man 3 sucks. But did you know the conspiracy theory? Well, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's actually proven true. In Iron Man 3, there's a little boy, and he's like, "Oh, Iron Man, I love you so much." Mm-hmm. And as a little boy, turns out that little boy is Spider-Man.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like a huge conspiracy theory on Reddit, and then Mr. Marvel Man, what's his name? Excelsior. I know I'll figure out his name later.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
He was like, yeah, that's him. That's Spider-Man. That's all good Spidey.
What gets me, though, is like that relationship between them is just growing so much. I mean, like, Spider-Man looking up to Iron Man has just become such a big thing in this recent movie, and I'm really digging it. Yeah, it's made it a lot better. It makes it more bondable than ever.
Iron Man saved Spider-Man's life when he was a little boy.
That's crazy. I mean, I personally, like I said, I like Captain America a lot. He's very his character is just something to go with. Mm-hmm. I asked Michael when we went to see Justice League. Now, I'm not really too into the comics or anything, okay? So don't, like, scar me and look at me in such a wrong way. But I was like, what if they, like, mixed at one point? Like, somehow
Marvel and
mixed
DC?
Worlds. And he was like, no, that's never going to happen. And I was like, yeah, but how cool would it be if it did, in a way? Because I was like, I could imagine Superman meeting Captain America and them hitting it off very well. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, because, you know, a lot of them relate to each other. Like, I feel like Batman would do well with Iron Man because the money thing and, building the costume and all that stuff. Yes, that and then the bond that Batman had with Flash reminds me of the bond with Spider-Man and Iron Man. Mm-hmm. So, like, that kind of hit me right there. I felt like definitely the Flash is just like Peter Parker. Mm-hmm. Just like him. Like, he's witty and he's, you know, crazy and stuff like that. I thought the funniest thing at the end of the Justice League, this one's just like after the credits type thing. Superman and Flash race. They race. And apparently Michael says...
race all the time in the comics.
Yeah, I know. Michael says that they usually race all the time and that when they do, most of the time it's either a draw or a Flash wins. Yeah. Normally, and I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
In the comics, they always have a draw because it's mainly for charity. The races are charity. And they always end it with a draw. Or something happens and Spider-Man, Superman can't run anymore. Or something happens. And then the Flash wins. But it's pretty much proven that the Flash is faster.
I mean, that's obvious, though, you know? I mean, and I don't see why, like... That's his moment to shine. You know, Superman can't do everything.
Like, you know, the Flash can run so fast. He runs through time and space.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was a very cool character in that.
Stan Lee.
Really weird though.
Stan Lee.
Oh, okay, that's his name. See, I don't know. The movie was great, but like it was just so weird at times. Like it was just something about it. I did think the one of the funniest moments in that movie had to be, I was wondering why this was going on. Aquaman kept going on this spiel about all them, right? Talking about them. And I was like, why is he just randomly talking about all this? They're about to go and fight crime right now. Mm-hmm.
See.
And you want to know what happens?
What?
This is not like a main character, a main part of the movie. It's just mainly like a sidebar thing. But he was sitting on the truth lasso.
Really?
Of Wonder Woman's lasso thing? Uh-huh. Yeah, he was sitting on it.
Wow.
And they all kept like pointing to him going, hey, look. And he was like, oh. And he was like, don't you guys ever speak of this. Because he was like legit telling the truth of everything. And I was just like, what is he doing? He like told Batman. He was like, Batman, I'm sorry. He was like, no offense. He was like, but you don't even have any powers. So I don't know if we're going to win this. I was like, dang.
Well, like... a lot of people will hate me for this, but I feel like I always felt this. Aquaman, to me, is the dumbest superhero in the entire world.
He kind of... People are going to hate this because, like you said, he's gotten really popular with the Justice League because all these women go crazy over him. Yeah. But he really kind of is the dumbest one. Like he has some badass moments.
What does he do
Sorry
besides
for saying that, by the way?
What does he do? Like out of the water? Like how does he?
Well, I mean, first off, he's like, how do I explain this? He's durable. Like, when you throw a rock on him, he's gonna come out of it alive. You know what I mean? Like,
is he punching people or what is he doing?
Yeah, he's very strong. Okay.
Okay.
And he doesn't fly or anything, but he can jump pretty big. Like his leaps are pretty big, and I don't know. He can control the sea and all that, and that's about it.
But what if you're like underground, or you're away from the water, or in the building?
Well, he controls it, so he can draw it too.
Okay.
But his character didn't do much in the movie, though. Like, honestly, he fought like normal alongside.
Well, what much
Wonder
can
Woman.
you do? What much can you do?
But I mean, he was still good. Like, he was funny in the movie, and he was like had little quirks about him. But like, if I had to pick who to be, I would not pick him. I would not want to be his character. I'm sorry.
No.
But.
Well, you want to wrap it up? It's about that time.
I guess. Even though we talked about like DC and Marvel comics the whole time about.
Yeah. Well, that's still trending though.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I know this week's schedule was a little bit wacky. But, yeah. I mean, we'll try to get into it. It's still new to us. It's only 8 episodes in, so.
And bear with us. The holidays are here, so we're trying to make it as quick as possible. And we're working on, making videos here soon. We've just been really busy with our schedules. But we will be having a video coming for you guys, because we have some stuff to use now. Mm-hmm. We're just trying to get down how the looks are going to go and all that. Mm-hmm. But we're excited. So, I mean, keep your eyes out. Also, don't forget to like us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And check out, a lot of our pages and stuff on SoundCloud and Google Play and iTunes. But I do want to say that we have a Patreon. I know we don't talk about it all the time, as some people do, but we do have a Patreon account. Mm-hmm. And it's just where you help, give us some money to help out our podcast so that we can make it better for you guys. Not necessarily for us. This is actually for the podcast. So it brings us to better things. And when I say better things, I'm talking cameras, speakers, things like that. Like, to make it more professional. That way you guys see something way more better than what you see now. Yeah. Which is like nothing. You guys pretty much see nothing. Yeah, you just hear us. We want to have like a video part of it. Yes, we do. Like I said, through the holidays, it's going to be a little crazy. We're doing as much as we can as possible. And I'm thinking about some holiday-themed podcasts. Yeah. Maybe. But if you guys have any suggestions, questions, or anything like that. Concerns. Comment on our videos on YouTube and give us a like on there. Subscribe to us. Let us know how we're doing. Mm-hmm. And I say you guys should always stay beautifully nasty. Bye.